Dr. Evelyn Carter stood before a packed auditorium, her voice calm but eyes lit with fire. Memoranol represents a seismic shift in how we approach Alzheimer's. This is not just hope, it's a breakthrough. The applause came quickly. Reporters scribbled furiously. Behind her, the Neurothro Pharmaceuticals banner gleamed. Carter had spent 20 years in neurology, much of it clawing for progress in a field known for heartbreak. Her father's slow descent into dementia had shaped her purpose. This trial, Memoranol, was supposed to be her redemption. 50 patients were selected from hundreds, grouped into cohorts, strict protocols, daily monitoring. The FDA had eyes on everything. In the first month, results were beyond promising. Patients remembered birthdays, recited poems, even recognized spouses they hadn't known in years. David Lawson, a reporter with the Miami Tribune, watched from the back of the room. He wasn't clapping. He'd seen miracle drugs before. They rarely lived up to their name. 2 months in, the first death came. An 82-year-old in Cohort B, heart failure, the official report said, seemed natural. Then Linda Reynolds, 75, collapsed in her kitchen. Cause of death, undetermined. Her daughter didn't buy it. Dr. Carter brought her concerns to Neurothro's internal board. 2 patients gone. Both were showing improvements. This doesn't feel random. Jonathan Greaves, Neurothro CEO, didn't blink. We're on the cusp of FDA approval. Let's not get sidetracked by statistical noise. Richard Hale, Neurothro's chief scientist, backed him. Comorbidities, age, we expected mortality. But Evelyn's unease grew. Her questions weren't welcome. Behind the scenes, Evelyn noticed her access narrowing. Meeting invites stopped coming. Trial data became fragmentary. She confronted Hale privately. I'm leading this trial? Why am I seeing redacted files? He shrugged. You're emotional. It's affecting your judgment. The real reason came to light weeks later. Someone had flagged her early concerns as a threat to the trial's momentum. Neurothro quietly rerouted data access through internal silos, giving each team only partial views. It was meant to prevent leaks or resistance. Elena Martinez had clung to hope. Her husband Joseph, a retired firefighter, had begun recognizing their grandchildren again. Their wedding anniversary had brought tears, not from confusion but from memory. Then one morning, he was gone. Seizure. Brain swelling. The autopsy was vague, likely natural causes, but she wasn't convinced. She began calling other families. Each story echoed hers, a brief miracle followed by sudden death. David Lawson's inbox pinged with an anonymous tip. Memoranol is killing people. I have proof. He met the sender the next night, Dr. Evelyn Carter. Her voice shook. I wasn't supposed to see this, but I did. She slid a flash drive across the table. Preclinical data. Mice had a 30% mortality rate, massive neuroinflammation. And no one stopped the trial? They buried it, and I was shut out the moment I started asking questions. David paused. If I run this story, it could take down the whole company, she nodded. Good. Deadly side effects. The dark truth behind Memoranol. The headline splashed across the Miami Tribune. Within hours, families mobilized, lawsuits were filed. The FDA launched an investigation, but Neurothro came prepared. Margaret Devereaux, their legal hammer, went on the offensive. Correlation isn't causation, she told reporters. This is a witch hunt. They moved to discredit Carter. Anonymous sources leaked old emails, some manipulated, claiming she falsified past data. One co-authored paper had indeed been retracted, due to statistical inconsistencies. She has a history, Devereaux said. This is revenge, not science. Evelyn watched her reputation implode. Colleagues stopped returning calls. Board members avoided eye contact. But she wasn't alone. In the margins of trial documents, David found a name, Dr. Alan Bishop. He had co-authored internal safety reports but vanished 6 months prior. Carter recalled him. Brilliant, paranoid. He warned us about neuroinflammation right before Neurothro fired him. David tracked him down in a small town outside Tallahassee. Bishop opened the door, eyes bloodshot. You shouldn't be here. We need your help. People are dying. Inside, Bishop produced a cache of evidence. Internal memos, meeting recordings, risk assessments. Proof that Greaves and Hale knew Memoranol was lethal for a subset of patients. I tried to stop them, he said. They threatened my license, my pension. Later that night, Bishop's home caught fire. He barely escaped. It's a warning, he told David. This goes higher than you think. Investors, political backers, people with too much to lose. David's second article, Neurothro's cover-up. Whistleblower speaks out, triggered congressional interest. The FBI got involved. Trial lawyers turned criminal prosecutors. The judge presiding over the consolidated civil suits called an emergency hearing. After reviewing the whistleblower evidence in chambers, she opened the floor. This court is referring all materials to federal authorities. There is sufficient cause to suspect fraud, gross negligence, and willful endangerment. The gallery erupted. Families wept. Neurothrow's attorneys turned pale. The trial pivoted from damages to accountability. Dr. Carter testified first. Calm, clear, measured. They removed me from meetings after I raised safety concerns. I later accessed preclinical trial results showing dangerous inflammation patterns. These were concealed from both me and the FDA. Dr. Bishop followed, detailing internal discussions. We were told to stay mission-focused. That meant burying unfavorable data. I was fired when I refused to comply. When David testified, he brought evidence of data tampering, timeline manipulation, and witness intimidation. Under mounting pressure, Hale flipped. He confessed to signing off on doctored trial reports. CEO Jonathan Greaves was arrested in the courtroom hallway, charged with fraud, negligent homicide, and obstruction of justice. Neurothrow's stock collapsed. FDA pulled all pending approvals. Memoranol was banned. The civil suit settled for hundreds of millions. But most families felt hollow. I wanted answers, Elena told reporters. Now I have them. But Joseph's still gone. Dr. Carter's name was officially cleared. She was offered another research position but declined. They'll just do it again, she said, somewhere else, with a different drug, a new name. David's reporting won awards, but he'd stopped celebrating. Every lead now came with a familiar question: who's paying for this miracle? And who's going to die for it? Months later, a Senate hearing on pharmaceutical oversight cited the Memoranol case as a turning point. But in the back rows, lobbyists whispered. Stock tickers crawled across phones. A new drug, Promedix, was already making waves. Same promises, same urgency. Carter watched from home. The commentator called it a revolutionary advance. She shut off the TV.